Alrighty guys, we're all done with the van. I'm gonna do a van review, demo of show you what all I've done to the van in the completed state. I'm no carpenter, so there's gonna be some misses here and there, but they don't affect any of the functionality. I think overall the van looks really good. I hope you all think the same when I show you. I'm going to tell you this probably multiple times. All the decisions we made for this van were for our particular needs. So that said, that doesn't mean that how I build it might not be something you can take from it, or what I've done or the features that we've added to it may or may not be pertinent to you. And if they are, that's fantastic. If they're not, that's fine too. You might have a completely different need for your van than we need for ours. I'm gonna go ahead and go over the back of the van, the garage, quote unquote, a little bit of the outside of the van. I didn't really do a lot on the outside, but we'll go over that real quick. And then we'll talk about the inside, the finish, the systems, the water, the electric, the cooking mechanisms, all that. And then I hope you all like it. We're pretty pumped about it. We love the van. We've taken it out. If you followed us many times when it was a state of completely nothing, just an air mattress and a temporary battery in the back. And then we would continually take it out as we added new stuff, like when we added the bed initially. We took it out with just a bed. All the frame was just skeletons. We didn't have cabinets, and then we got partial cabinets, no doors. So we continually took the van out as we built it. That was one of the features of having this van that my wife and I, Jen and I, said from the beginning was, we can use it the day we buy it to go camping and to go out and do adventures, which was absolutely true. We threw a mattress in it and go. And we did not want to have the van parked for 4, 5, 6 months. Again, I had a full-time job while trying to build this van all by myself. So we didn't want to have this van just sitting in the parking space for months and months while we built it out and couldn't use it. So for us, a prime driver for how we built it and the things we did in it was us to be able to continually use it until its completion. And that caused me, I'm trying to think if it caused me any issues. I don't think there were too many issues as we built the van where we were trying to use it and then at the same time trying to build it, and I had a conflict in any way, shape, or form. I think pretty much most of the way I avoided those situations. But I look forward to sharing it with you. If you have comments, if you have critiques, if you have any positive or negative, I don't really care what to say about the van. Feel free to put a comment in there. And I hope you all like it. We love it. And I hope there's parts here and there that you guys will like. And who knows, maybe you'll adopt in your van. Alrighty, so from this side of the van here, this is obviously the side door. We did not opt for an awning. We have an awning on our camper, but we really don't use it because we found that it's just challenging with wind. If the wind is a little bit, it blows, yada, yada. You'll know the drill. So we didn't do an awning. That doesn't mean that we won't decide to do one later. We might later. But we did make a little side table. I put a little locking latch there so we can cook really right here. This fits our gas grill perfectly. And I went ahead and used the chain so that I can adjust its level. So if we're a little bit crooked, then I can raise this up or down a little bit with a link or two there. And then I keep this towel in there because I get really annoyed with noises in the van as we're driving. And so I decided to just put that towel there, and it kind of keeps the chain from making noise. And it also does a good job of using it if we need it when we're cooking. All right, so the flooring, I actually made a video on the flooring. The flooring you can see over here is pretty thick. It's about 3 inches thick, so it has the
layer this mat that I bought on Amazon for the van. Then I got a inch R5 insulation there, and then 3/4 inch wood underneath that, and then I have this
waterproof vinyl siding. I'm sorry, waterproof vinyl flooring I put. We didn't need to worry about every single inch of the floor because we're only, less than 5.5 feet tall. So my wife and I have plenty of room. What I really wanted was to have the floor warm, as warm as it can be. It's still a van, it's still outside. So if it's cold outside, the floor gets cool. But I'm sure if I didn't have that insulation, that layer thick, it would be colder. Alrighty, so our water system is in this door right here. We'll get you in there. So you can see here, our water system, we have the hot water tank here and tank right there. We have a 36-gallon freshwater tank right here. I have my accumulator right there, my water pressure, and my water filter. Currently, we don't really drink out of the water. Not to say that we can't drink out of the water, but we don't, just because we usually bring our water, or we buy as you can see, I'll show you in the drawer, we have a gallon of distilled water that we use to drink. We usually use the water for shower, washing hands, dogs, cleaning the dishes. So our freshwater tank is really just for that kind of stuff. Over here, we have the controls. We have our water pump right here. We have the freshwater gauge right there. Below that is the water heater on-off switch. And that's connected with AC, so I used a big switch for that. This is the gray water tank. This right here is the valve for the gray water tank release. And then we have a GFCI plug right there. And the GFCI is where the water heater is connected. So it's connected to a GFCI. And let me show back down here real quick. Right there you can see the plug for the water heater. It is a 120 volt plug. On this side over here, we have some storage, which I'm not going to get out. I have a backpack in here, an extra down quilt, a fishing backpack in here. I have a fishing net, another well, I have a backpack, but it's more like my whole fishing gear. And then I have a small little vest backpack right here for fishing. That would be what I'm going to take any particular fishing activity. Back here, let me see if I can get this open, is the power system. Right now the drawer is in the way. I'll pull that in a sec. So down there you can see I have a 400 amp hour Renogy battery. Alrighty, so with the drawer pulled out, it's right here. You can see over here, I have my 3000 watt inverter, a Renogy Pure Sign. I have a DC to DC 60 amp charger for the battery. Over here we have our fuses, our DC breakers. You can see over there I have my solar charger. On the roof we have 300 amps of solar. And then see if I can get the camera down here at the right angle. Hold on. Okay, so down here is the cutoff for the solar, because if you work with solar, you'll know as long as there's sun out, there's power in them. So in order to make the system completely dead, I put the cutoff. I can turn off the solar, so it'll shut off if I want to turn everything off. And of course, this Renogy 400 amp hour battery, you can turn it off with this button, turn it on and off. It's self-heating, so if it does get cold, it will heat itself, so it'll still maintain charge and all that other stuff. While we're out here with this drawer, I went ahead and put a drawer right here. I had a little bit of space. So yes, we have our sit pads here, some chairs. We also have our walking sticks down here and some micro spikes. We'll probably take those out since it's no longer micro spike season. Put this drawer back in. While we're back here, we have the
AC distribution panel. I only have these two spots used right now. It's the water heater and the water heater plugs, and then the appliances for back here. So I'll show you that in a sec. So we have a 30 amp breaker. So the appliance, one of the appliance plugs is here. And then while we're here, okay, yeah, this is my water fill for the freshwater tank. And then I also have a 12 volt plug right here, so that if we want to need the 12 volt for something like the pump for the paddle boards, we can pump it up right there. Use that plug. Now this drawer right here is on 500-pound rails. I can pull it back, and I use it to hold everything in. I do need to make some modifications to this drawer by that back panel over there. I want to make it so I can lay it down flat, so put it on a hinge, and probably leave this like this, at this height, and lock it in. So that way I can put something big like a kayak or a paddleboard, or lay it down there and use this whole space, which is about 13 feet long back here. Back here you can also see, while I'm back here in the back, we have our TV mounted on the right there on the wall, and this TV actually has a DVD player, so we can, if we're in a space where there's no connectivity, we can watch DVDs. We bought a bunch at Goodwill. And then above here, I have this fan, this 12 volt fan, which is really good fan. It's very quiet, it's versatile, and then it goes all the directions, and it has a timer. So you can specify, it has a timer, so you can specify how long you want it to run. 2 hours, 4 hours at all, and the speed, and it's very quiet. We weren't sure we were going to do that pill window, or both of them. We bought it on both sides, but we decided to go ahead and do it because of the vent. So the vent, the fan is up in the front. It's up there, and we're back here. So we need to get some fresh air to circulate through, since we don't have air conditioning. We may still put it, but we aren't, as of this point, haven't decided if we will put air conditioning. But so in lieu of that, we wanted to have the pill windows so we can open them up and let the vent pull the air through and cool us as we're sleeping at night when it's hot. Alrighty, so inside. I did make some videos on some of the build stuff, but I didn't go into great detail during the videos while I was building it out. Because quite frankly, I was just concentrating and doing too much thinking on building it and not enough on filming it. I did this all on my own. Jen helped me paint a little bit, but basically I did every bit of this work on my own, including mounting, installing, painting, sanding, cutting, thinking, and figuring out how to do it. You can watch other videos on YouTube about how people may have solved a problem they have, but they're not necessarily the same problem that you have, because I don't think there's any two vans that are the same unless they're prefabbed or something to that effect. Okay, so inside we have a lot of white paint. Jen, the van is big. It's a big van, but it's still a small vehicle and a small place to be in. So a couple of things. Basically, Jen had the ideas of what she wanted, her requirements for the van. She wanted it to be bright, even though it's small. She wanted as much room as we could have. She wanted a shower. She wanted a bed we could put away. Those were kind of her main sticking points. So as long as I kind of hit those, then we were golden. So to meet those needs, bright, we basically painted everything white except for the cabinets and the countertops. And we kind of finished them natural, you can see here. And that way it kind of breaks up the white, because otherwise everything would be white. It'd feel like a hospital or something weird like that. You can see the ceiling is all white. Again, the goal is to try to make it feel a little more roomy, brighter. Everyone is different. I know some people like to make it feel like a log cabin. That's their thing. That's awesome. For us, we want it to be bright and light colored. So cabinets are this. They are all the cabinetry is made with 80/20, 10/10, or 1 inch by 1 inch square. I had originally made these things complete framed out squares, but then with the curve of the van, it didn't fit. So what I did was I took off the top going back and the top going up. So I basically took off
this, and then I just mounted this to the ceiling. And it works out great. You can basically hang on it there in the ceiling. And then I got these kind of heavy duty hinges up here from IKEA. They're very nice. They're pretty easy to put on. And again, there is a video where I did talk about the cabinets and the hinges particularly more, so you can go back and look at that. I went ahead and, again, to go with the theme of bright, you can see all the lights from right here, the front, all the way back, and then the back two, sets of two, are on the bedroom. And I'll go turn those on real quick. All right, so now you can see the lights are on all the way to the back. The back four are controlled by a light switch by the bed, because we can turn those on and off at night from there. The ones up here on this part of the ceiling are controlled by this button. The outside light, the porch light, is controlled by this. And then I have lights under task lighting for the under the cabinets here, 4 right here, and it's controlled with this button. And then this side has 3 task lights on this side, and they're controlled with this one. While we're over here, we have the on and off switch for the Renogy inverter. I have a Wii Boost, and it's for turn that on right here. And then right here I have my Wi-Fi hub, my hotspot. We're on the AT&T plan. I think it's like $10 a month. We get like 5 gigs. And it provides us, obviously, internet for the van. The TV's hooked to it. The van is connected to it. This temperature monitor right here. Let's see if it's clear. This temperature monitor right there is on Wi-Fi, so I can see what the temperature of the van is out and about. And then our Renogy One system right here is connected to the Wi-Fi also, so I can see what the battery is, what the charge is, all that state while I'm away. Yes. Okay. We also have a refrigerator behind this double latching system. I still have to come up with a better mechanism, but right now I just put the barrel lock and up, and then this right here helps to double check. And then inside the fridge here, it's got 2 compartments. It can do freezer if we need to. It was only, that refrigerator was only like $250. There are some that are a lot more. We weren't really sure what we were going to do, if we were going to like it or not, so we kind of went with the inexpensive version. It works perfect. We've had no issues with it, except for the handle. There's a little locking pin that kind of gets out of line and pops off, and then you have to refix it. But that does not affect the performance of the refrigerator itself. Everything is fine. Right above the fridge, we have the sink, and I got this faucet right here from Restore. So it's I could take it out and hang it out over the outside over there. And then our sink is pretty deep. I think it's a 10 or 12 inch deep sink. I mean, it's deeper than this because that's got that little tray on the bottom right now. And it works great for us. Of course, it has the little cutting board, which we do use. Over here, I have a Lagoon table. We're pretty satisfied with it, but this area right here is not permanent. Right now, this little seat right there is kind of a temporary seat. Eventually, we plan to put a seat with seat belts, and that can convert into a bed right around here. But I'm just kind of holding on that for right now because we don't need it. But the idea is once we get a little farther down the road, we'll go ahead and do that so we can have our grandkids come with us or whatever. And it can have a little bed for them as well as a seat with seat belts. Over here we have, this is really nice. It's kind of like friction hinged. This right here is like friction hinged hangers, so they're not like, they don't just flop around, so you can open them up and drive around in the van and they don't close, so it makes it nice to hang your towel to let them get some air. So you can spread them out a little bit. You can hang a jacket, towel, blanket, whatever you want on there. And then it also has these hooks right here. So there's a couple extra hooks, which makes it convenient. Down below, this right down here is the office, aka the potty. So we have a Boxio. This thing just goes all the way up here like this. So with the Boxio, it's a separator toilet, liquid in one container, about a 1.5 gallon container, and then solid is effectively a bucket made for a bag, and you can put in composting material or not, and just use single use and then take it to the garbage. That's what we do. And then right here, I'm going to show you this. Right here we have a closet, and the closet has a mirror, basically a full-length mirror. You can see here. Basically, it's a full-length mirror. Jen likes to sit on our stool that we use to get up on the bed, and sit in, get made up. And then inside the closet we have toiletries, blankets, towels, etc. in there. Each one of the cabinets kind of has a different functionality, different features. This one we store like our work stuff, like tools. Up here. This one up here has got kind of cleaning materials. Above where you're sitting right now is usually our clothes, and then this other cabinet straight above you is our food, like crackers, snacks, chips, protein bars, that kind of stuff. Okay, the bed. Let's get you at a better angle here. All right, so let's show the bed. I have this extra latch here to help in case it comes off or we hit a big bump. So this strap will go in there, and it keeps this in case this thing ever happens to pop out again due to a big bump or something. So this is a pretty heavy duty latch, with a pretty good size spring. It's in that hole back here, as you can see, with the metal frame. And then we just let this guy down. The bed is 3/4 inch ply. And I have a little aluminum trim piece on the corner here, right here, to help protect the corner and make it rest firmly on the 80/20. The bed itself is a 4-inch trifold memory foam. It just lays out, comes out here, and then we usually keep a couple pillows back there. Yep. Let me put the bed down real quick. All right, so here's the bed down. Of course, it's only the sheet. The bedding we don't have on right now because we just got back from a trip, and we took it all in to wash. I do not have any flares. So this is, I think it's a full RV full, so it might be a little bit short. It's like 75 inches wide, but you can see it does go up to the edge of this. These are my cut-ins here I made for the window. So there's a little gap about 3 inches back on each side, so that allows the bed to fit perfectly east to west. And again, Jen and I are not tall people, so we fit perfectly across the bed with a little bit of room to spare. Okay, so now we're going to talk about this drawers and the microwave. So we went ahead and decided to go for a microwave because it's easy to warm food. We all know how convenient microwaves can be. So it's convenient to warm stuff very quickly. Again, it's on the AC, so the 120. It's locked in very tight all around the sides, and I put a strap of this material here also to hold it down. We have 2 drawers, and in this drawer we have food like beans, corned beef hash, utensils like our spatulas, whatnot, pepper, salt, that kind of stuff. The next drawer below, they're all on soft closed drawer hinges too. We have our skillet and our electric inverter or inductive skillet, I'm sorry. So they'll close down there. And then the bottom I have a flop out, and this pull out down bottom is where we put our Coleman gas stove, which we usually cook with outside. And it's just a flap because having that in the drawer wouldn't have been enough room. And I just found out that it's easier to just have the pull down and let it come down. All right, so right here you can see is our shower. This shower is the Tetra Van shower. It is very efficient. I don't know what they did with how the sprayer works,
but we've taken multiple showers in here, and you feel like you get very wet on very little water. I don't know, it's really, really handy. Before I open the van, up here I added a holder for the sprayer, and then we have 4 hooks, one here, one up there, one back here and there. So that holds the shower curtain. The shower curtain, it only takes, I don't know, a minute to put up, and then a minute, and then after we take a shower, we usually let it rest, dry out for, half hour, an hour, just leave it up, and then we just roll it back down into here and out it goes. The other nice thing is I have the fan, the vent fan, right above the shower. So when we take a shower, we turn the fan on and it can suck out most of the moisture so your van doesn't get covered in humidity, which it's already going to be humid in the van because that's what vans do. They like to get humid. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a good place to put the camera and then set this shower up. Alrighty guys, we're going to try to set this up normal, real time, so you can see how long it takes to set the shower up. It's just open the handle, lay it down, and then this goes on this one, this goes on this one, right there. Oops, missed. And the shower set up just like that. Let me show you what it looks like from this side. All right, this is gonna get kind of tight, but I'm trying to show. So in the shower, it looks like this. There's the fan. Down here are the controls. Once you set this temperature right here like we have it, you don't have to mess with it any longer because the shower head itself has an on-off valve right here. Oops. Forgot there's pressure in the water system. So it's got the on-off valve right there. You can have it down here, or like I showed, you can set it up here on the ceiling like this, and then you can just turn it on, turn it off. And then when you're done, just put it back down here like this, and it's out. Now this shower pan, the floor down here is like, I think it's like 18 gauge steel. It's probably about an 1/8 of an inch thick. It's very heavy duty, and there's magnets all on it. So the floor, down where it hits the floor, it's magnetic. You'll see here when it opens, there's magnets go here to close it all up. So you can have a closed up, leak-proof shower curtain. So you can see back here, we saw when I put it up, as you were sitting on the bed, there was still space back there to navigate. And where I'm at here, I'll show you. There's still space up here, so if you happen to be sitting up here and have these chairs turned around, because they both swivel, then you still have room to get here, get to the fridge, get to the sink. So you could take a shower, relax in the chairs, when they're swiveled, get something to eat. You could be eating, you could sit on the table, everything. So the point I'm making there is the shower doesn't get in the way, and it's extremely beneficial and wonderful to be able to take a shower when you need to take a shower in the van. And all you people that are in the van know how nice it is to have a shower, to get a shower. I guess the other thing here is I put this I ordered the template to build this wood shelf here on our headliner, but it needed a higher lip because stuff would fall out. So I built a little 3/4 inch side and just put material on it and wrapped it up. So there's kind of about a 2 inch or so lip now that keeps the stuff in. And up there we usually keep our visors for the front windows, our covers, and other little stuff. Like right now I have our drone over here and the dog sweater and that kind of stuff.
I guess that's probably it. Oops. Sorry. I guess that's probably it for the van. It's let me put this shower curtain down real quick while I'm sitting here talking about you. The van has exceeded our expectations. If you've watched any of our other videos, we seem to always talk about, oh my gosh, it was awesome. It's better than we could have thought. See, and just like that, the shower was put away. The van has just way exceeded our expectations. We can go places. We can make decisions on the fly without having to say, oh man, you know, we have to go back to get our et al from the campsite, because wherever we go, we have everything, right? So if we decide to go for a drive, like today, Jen and I are up here at the at our lot in Birch Bay. We have everything with us. We have a refrigerator. If we happen to decide to go shopping and then get something and then divert, we can turn the fridge on and it's going to keep our food cold. If we want a snack, we have it. If we're out traveling, you know, longer distances, wherever we go, we have everything. So it's so nice to be able to have a campsite. Like when we're in Banff, we had a campsite, and then we went into town, and then we're in the parking lot there, and we're like, I don't want to go back to our campsite to eat. We have our van. Let's just go in the van and do our thing. Have a snack, relax, go to the bathroom, take a nap, whatever we want to do. It's just beyond our expectations. Now, granted, I think maybe a small Class C, maybe those 24-footer, you might kind of feel the same, but they're still a little bit big. I mean, we can park in regular parking spaces. At the grocery store, we stick out like a big truck. So if you have if you ever saw a four-door extended cab, long bed pickup truck, we're about that size. So if you see those things are parked in there, how they fit, they're kind of maybe a little bit of a nuisance. That's what we are. But they can park in the parking lot, and that's what we can do. If you have any questions about the van build, if you have any questions about any of the functionality that we have or we think we don't have, or if you want to just say, hey, that looks good or that looks terrible, I'm okay with that too. I'd like to hear some feedback. I mean, this has been one of the coolest things I've ever done. So much so that I keep thinking, man, I wouldn't mind building another van. I've learned a lot, and I'm far from perfect. Believe me, there's lots of parts in here that annoy me, but Jen doesn't even think twice about it, and probably 99% of the people that came in and looked at it would think it looks great. Granted, I do think it looks great, but I also built every bit of it, put in every single screw, every bit of glue, every bit of everything, so I know the parts that are squirrely, let's just say. But it does make me want to build another one because the creativity involved was awesome. I loved it. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the little van tour of our little Nigel. And I hope that you follow us along with some adventures we go in it. We'll catch you guys later.